The folks here in Cleveland, even though all Bengals. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they come in on a one-game winning streak. What do you say we keep that one positive? Because they haven't had much to be positive about lately.
Yeah, let's take it, maybe make it almost like the theater. You're only as good as your last performance. Hopefully they can continue to move forward.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Dalton gives to Bernard, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. First and 10 for Dalton. He drops it off for Bernard. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And able to find Green. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again?
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well because he figured out quickly.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jamie Collins not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And Green with a catch left side. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And able to find Decker. And he's taken down inside the 30. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Now Bernard might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to about the 22 here. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So play number 10 now coming. It's been a long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. They'll run it here with Burrow. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, there has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
On the ground, this is Johnson. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by David Bass.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
On 2nd down, Johnson. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Gone, 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 gone. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
Mayfield to throw it. Open receiver, that's David Njoku. And a nice gain of 21 yards. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Mayfield now on second down. Steps away to his left. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Here's Mayfield. Out to the flat for Hyde. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
A first carry for a former 49er and also a former Buckeye. It's Carlos Hyde. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays. Back-to-back 15-yarders. And they're rolling.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right, get it to your back, get a lot of people out in front, control the line of scrimmage, wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
First down, Mayfield. He dumps it to Hyde. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Over!
Second down, Mayfield. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
On third down, Mayfield dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They'll start on the ground here with Bernard.
Whoosh.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Two minutes remain in a scoreless first half. More from Cleveland after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Green's got it over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
There's nothing like getting out of the gate and finding your favorite target. Andy Dalton just did that with A.J. Green.
And some people call that a nice fantasy football connection as well.
Yeah, they're piling up the points that way, and they want to see that continue.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards there, 2 straight plays of 16 yards and another first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat.
And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
A big play there just before halftime. 56 yards on the ground.
Watch it now, Barney. Gone.
From the red zone now, Mayfield eluding the pressure right. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go now. 3:19. All right, now, lucky 56.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. Stopped short, down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get all the way to the end zone. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. 2nd and goal from the 1. They come up in an offset eye. He's going to get it running right. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Duke Johnson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So they just do get the touchdown in before halftime, and now a PAT will tie it.
So what we're saying is one team is going to be really excited right now. How about the other side, though? Will they be deflated, or will they go ahead and gather themselves, regroup at halftime, and come back out because we had an even half?
Yeah, we did. We'll see. Should be a good second half, that's for sure. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. It's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll begin with a trip up to Nashville. Washington on the road at Tennessee. And as they approach halftime, it's the Redskins who have the lead in that one. Jamison Crowder, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
Throwing, Mayfield. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Over.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
To throw, Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. And he slides to avoid the hit. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
And another example of why Baker Mayfield went #1 in the draft. His ability to confound defensive coordinators. They played him for the pass. They covered it well. He takes off with his legs and scrambles for a big gain.
3-19.
A 1st down throw from Mayfield. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Duke Johnson, he scored on the ground and through the air. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offense coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down. We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
We saw a touchdown, too. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Jamie Collins in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Passing, it's Dalton. On the screen, Bernard. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on 3rd down.
And ordinarily on 3rd down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness, off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Watching that, Barney!
Again, it's Johnson. What a spin. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Watching that, Barney!
Johnson on the counter. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Here we go. 319! 319!
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Michael Johnson in there to drop him for a loss on the play. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Dalton. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. To Mixon on the check down. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. And able to find Decker. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
Every play is supposed to get a player's best effort. But on 4th down, that really increases the stakes, doesn't it? What about that catch?
Heck of an effort, picking up the 1st.
And now that team has to be motivated going forward. They just saw a great effort there. They want to make sure it pays off.
To throw here, Dalton. Now he'll go deep down the middle. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Dumps it off to Mixon. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Dalton again. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, Had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Now the Bengals on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And Eifert has it. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
This will be Dalton again. And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown.
It's been good to see Tyler Eifert regaining his form as one of the best red zone tight ends in the league. Remember in 2015? Led all NFL tight ends with 13 touchdowns. Injuries have kept him to just 10 games the last 2 years. But when Tyler Eifert's healthy and he's in the red zone, look out.
Bullock good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point one away. And that one carries out of the side of the end zone for a touchback, so that will come out now to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is put a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender.
There goes Duke Johnson. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Duke Johnson with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. They do tack on the extra point as well, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing, Dalton. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A really good pickup of 28 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. So now Dalton. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Dalton wants to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. Now Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 11. Big spot. Andy Dalton. And he's got Rodgers. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. All right, here's Dalton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Another chance for Dalton. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A 10-yard completion, but still now facing 3rd and goal. Dalton saying, let's get going here, guys, as he rallies them to get set. Dalton on 3rd and goal. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. It's do or die for Dalton. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here.
This match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Browns, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field.